Welcome to English Audio Club. Today we learn English through a story. So, let's start it. I got a 1-month holiday from my office, so I decided to go back to my hometown to see my mother. But this time, she was very excited that I was coming home. I found it a little strange, but I thought maybe she missed me a lot. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I left the station and went straight home. When the door opened, my lovely mother was standing there. She said, "My dear son, finally you are home," with tears in her eyes. I gave her a big hug. She looked very emotional. We went to the living room, and I sat on the sofa. I was tired from the long trip. I said, "Mom, can you bring me a glass of water?" But she didn't bring it. Instead, she sat beside me with a strange smile and said, "Your water is coming." Then a young and beautiful woman, about 22 years old, came into the room. She brought the glass of water and gave it to me. She looked nervous and shy. I could tell she felt a little uncomfortable. I took the glass and said, "Thank you." My mother's eyes lit up when she saw her. Then she said, "Bayou, meet Lestari. She's our new house helper." I smiled and said, "Okay, welcome, Lestari." "Thank you, sir," she replied. But suddenly my mother said, "Oh no, no. Don't call him sir. His name is Bayou. Just call him Bayou, it'll make me very happy." "Yes, please call me Bayou," I said again with a smile. Then we moved to the dining table to have dinner. After a while, Lestari went to the kitchen for something. My mother leaned close to me and whispered, "Lestari is going to stay with us. Poor girl, she lost her parents just last week, and there's no one to take care of her. She doesn't even have a place to live because they were renting. So I thought I could help her." I was already thinking about hiring a house helper. "Oh, dear Mom, you did the right thing," I replied. "But are you sure you know her well? You know how young people can be these days, and she's still a stranger in our house." "She's not a stranger," my mother said. "I know her family very well." After our talk, I went to bed. The next morning, I got ready and went to the breakfast table. My favorite breakfast was already prepared by Lestari and my mom. My mother sat with me, but Lestari stood to the side, looking shy and nervous. "Come, Lestari, have breakfast with us," said my mother. "Yes, join us, Lestari," I added. She quietly sat beside me. That was the first time I really looked at her closely. Her eyes were blue, just like mine. I felt a strange connection with her. Later, I was thinking about buying some clothes for Lestari. My mother said, "Bayou, I'm feeling a bit tired today. Can you go with Lestari to the market?" I replied slowly, "Yes, I can go with her." "Oh, wonderful. You both can spend some time together," she said cheerfully. I didn't understand why she wanted that so much. I started to feel something was on her mind. At the market, Lestari bought some dresses, and I even helped her choose. I noticed we had many things in common. Afterward, we went to a coffee shop and talked for a long time. She shared stories about her life, and I shared mine. I felt truly happy during that conversation. By 6 p.m., we returned home. I thought my mother would be upset that we stayed out so long, but instead, she looked very pleased. She even suggested I should take Lestari to the park the next day. I was surprised. There was clearly something going on in her mind. Before dinner, I finally asked her, "Mom, can you please tell me what's really going on? I've noticed you're acting differently these days. Why do you want me to spend so much time with Lestari? What are you thinking?" I asked, "Mom, I know what you're thinking." She looked at me and said gently, "Bayu, please believe me. I really care about Lestari. I don't want her to feel like a maid. I want her to feel like part of our family." I didn't say anything. It was clear, my mother wanted Lestari to be part of our family. And that could only happen if she became my wife. That evening, Lestari baked my favorite cake to say thank you. After dinner, we went to the terrace. We laughed and talked. It was a special moment. Then, for a while, we looked into each other's eyes. There was silence. She looked beautiful under the moonlight. I held her hand, and she smiled. It was a magical night. Later, I went to bed, but I couldn't sleep. My thoughts were all about Lestari. I'd felt a connection with her from the very first day. Now, I knew clearly, I was in love with her. I needed to tell both Lestari and my mother. I believed Mom would be happy, since this was what she truly wanted. The next morning, I went out and bought a ring. I set up a surprise in our backyard, decorating it with lights and flowers. I didn't tell Mom I was going to propose. I planned to tell her afterward. That night, I brought Lestari to the backyard. She was so happy to see everything I'd prepared. Then, I went down on one knee, showed her the ring, and proposed. She was overwhelmed, with tears in her eyes, and shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." Hearing her voice, my mother came into the yard. She saw the ring in my hand, and Lestari standing in front of me. Just as I was about to place the ring on Lestari's finger, my mother shouted, "What is all this? What are you doing, Bayu?" I laughed and said, "I'm going to marry Lestari. She is my first love. And this is what you wanted, right? I'm the happiest man in the world right now." But my mother shouted, "Nonsense. You can't marry her. Are you both out of your minds?" Suddenly, she fainted. We were completely shocked. I called the doctor immediately. After checking her, the doctor said she had a panic attack and warned me not to give her any kind of stress. When my mother regained consciousness, I went into her room alone. Lestari was too frightened to come with me. "Mom," I said softly. "Are you feeling better now, Mom?" I asked softly. "Yes, my son," she replied gently. Then I asked, "But why did you react like that? You were the one who wanted me to get close to Lestari. Now everything feels so different." She looked away. "Listen, Bayu. Yes, I encouraged you to spend time with her, but I never meant for you to marry her. And I will never agree to that. Forget your feelings for Lestari. No, Mom, I said firmly. I love her with all my heart. She is my first love. And she loves me, too. You liked her so much, so why are you suddenly against her? Please, try to understand. But she didn't say a word. She just closed her eyes and turned her head. The next day, I came home from the market and found guests in the house. A well-dressed young woman and an older lady were sitting with my mother. I greeted them politely and sat beside Mom. She smiled and said, "Bayu, this is the daughter of my friend. Her name is Akira. Isn't she beautiful? I've chosen her to be your bride." What? I shouted. This can't be happening. I turned to the guests and said firmly, "I'm sorry, but I can't accept this. Please leave." My mother looked shocked and angry. How dare you talk to our guests like that? That's not how I raised you. I looked at her and said quietly, "How could you even think of marrying me to someone else when you know my heart belongs to Lestari?" My mother didn't answer right away. Her eyes softened, but her face stayed firm. "Bayu," she said at last, "sometimes love is not enough. Sometimes, protecting you means doing what you'll never understand." "Then help me understand," I said, my voice trembling. "Because right now, all I feel is hurt." She turned away, tears welling up. "I can't tell you the reason now. Maybe one day. But please, trust your mother." "I can't live in silence," I said, rising to my feet. "If I can't be with Lestari, I'll leave this house." Her shoulders shook as she cried. "Bayu, you are my whole world. I raised you with all my love. If you want the truth, then wait. Wait until I am gone. Only then will you know everything." I was filled with anger, confusion, and pain. I said something I'll regret forever. "Then die, Mom." The words hung in the air like a blade. She flinched, as if my voice itself cut through her. I left the room, refusing to speak with her from that day forward. She grew weaker with each passing day. Months passed, and in that time, she arranged for Lestari to marry someone else. I tried to stop it, but Lestari, seeing my mother's failing health, made her choice. She left. She got married. My mother cried every day. The doctor said she didn't have long. Then, one day, I came home and saw a crowd gathered outside. A neighbor told me the words I'll never forget, "Your mother has passed away." I rushed inside. My world collapsed. The next day, in her room, I found a letter. It was addressed to me. I sat on the edge of my mother's bed, holding the letter with trembling hands. Her words were heavy, full of truth, love, and sorrow. "I know you hate me, but I couldn't tell you the truth. If you had known, you would have hated me more. I didn't hate Lestari. I loved her like my daughter. That's why I didn't want you to see her as a lover." The letter continued. "You were born into a poor family. I adopted you as a baby, and from that day, you became my world. Years later, after Lester's parents died, I brought her in, not knowing what pain that would cause. She's your real sister. You share the same blood. Please forgive me. I only wanted you both to have a good life. I'm sorry for the secrets, and for the pain they brought. I will always love you, even from beyond this life. By the time I finished reading, tears soaked the paper. The anger, confusion, and grief inside me collapsed into something quiet. Something deeper. I walked outside and stood where the sunlight reached the garden she used to tend. Everything felt different. I couldn't change the past. But I could choose what to do with the truth she left behind. I visited Lestari one last time. She looked happy, though there was sadness in her eyes too. We didn't speak of the past, only wished each other peace. And in that silent goodbye, I found a little piece of it. Now, when I think of my mother, I don't just remember the secrets. I remember the way she brushed my hair when I was little, the way her eyes sparkled when she laughed, and the way she tried, so hard, to protect me. Her story was never simple. But it was love, all the way through. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more real-life inspired tales, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to English Audio Club, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. Your support means the world, and I'll see you in the next one.